Okay. Now let's see if it accepts it. Okay, now we're here, and we're going to see here live. Twitch has accepted the stream.
Twitch has accepted the stream.
Thank you for repeating. YouTube has accepted the stream.
YouTube has accepted the stream.
You know he's going to keep going.
And now you have to go And Facebook has accepted the stream.
Wow.
Facebook has accepted the stream. And
Wow.
Something new here now.
what?
See it on the comment monitor?
Uh-huh.
Tell the people to look at me.
Okay.
This way.
Terry, look at Richard.
Go to this page on Facebook and you'll see yourself.
Oh,
And
okay.
you can share it with your friends.
All right.
Okay.
How do I? What do I do? Go to Facebook?
Yep.
Okay, now I'm in Facebook. Now what?
Think Twice Radio.
It says here, see?
You just type in that.
Twice radio streaming. She may be in the app and not in the browser.
Facebook.com/ThinkTwice Radio Streaming.
It's a lot to type.
Facebook.com.
.com Think Twice Radio Streaming. You guys can put it up, right? And you can put yours up?
I am looking right now.
Okay. And put it, Maria, can you put it up? Or
I
do you
can't
need
do
Anna's
it.
help?
Mine
would
already
need
is
help.
already.
But
On Facebook.
Richard, Terry needs help.
I don't know how to do it.
She's having trouble.
Ask Ann. She's very
Okay.
Pass the phone to Ann.
Yeah, pass the phone to Ann. She'll take
Oh, it's
care of it.
already on mine.
Okay.
how do I? Yeah, I just need to know how to get to Facebook.
Are you on Facebook? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The AI thing threw me off.
Okay.
Where you going, Betty? Get out of there.
Must be. It says join group.
Join group.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
to join it.
Gotta join the group.
Okay.
Every time?
No, just one time. Oh,
one
here.
time.
It says you're joined.
Okay.
Okay, she's joined.
Where-
Yes, it was. Just making sure.
I don't see it.
Refresh.
Punch it like this.
I don't either.
Should be because it should be on top,
Right?
and there's nothing there.
Want to say hello?
Rachel, do you have the link?
Huh?
Say hello?
Do you have the show link?
Yeah, I already posted it on your wall.
Okay, well, can you post
see.
it on the others? Because they're having trouble.
Let me see if I can get it now.
Go to,
If that goes on my wall, they could just get it right off my wall.
well, they're having trouble getting it off. That's the problem.
I'm going to add you as a friend if you want to accept me, and then I'll try and share it too.
Add.
Ann Burka?
Yeah.
Facebook.com.
Hold on, Ann's got it.
I'm trying.
Help
Okay.
Maria. You're friended with Maria. Put it on Maria's wall. Great.
Huh?
Put the link on
I got
Maria's
you on
wall.
that, Ann. And
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to try to share it with.
Yeah, Rachel.
I don't see a Maria.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
Brad.
talking. Rachel will take care of Maria. Ann's taking care of you.
Yeah, Brandon.
Brandon, you got it on your wall?
Yep,
Okay.
sure do.
Okay, so I just need.
Mom. Brandon.
Wait a minute.
Now, this is for the live feed.
I don't know.
Facebook is making things a lot more complicated.
Yeah, I don't.
How?
Okay, I sent it to you in Messenger, and then you should be able to share it, I believe.
I'm not seeing any. Are you sending it to me in Messenger, Rachel?
I got this as Messenger, but I don't know.
I'm like typing and I can't find you. If you find me, type just say hi so it can pop up and then
That's
I can.
me.
Oh,
There we are.
And then
Wait a
share.
second.
I want a chore store.
That goes to your friend's Facebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to do
Nothing.
that. Oh,
Thank you for helping me.
I don't know if I am.
oh,
See, the thing is, if I look
Maybe
for
if I
myself,
copy-
I will probably lose the script. I won't be able to see the
Yeah, I don't
script.
want that.
So,
I'm not going to even try it.
yeah, I'm not going to. Yeah, because I can't see both at the same time. I will probably lose the script. I'm thinking that I can't. I've never seen my
I put
script.
you back to here. I don't know.
All right, we're gonna have to.
Is it on?
I don't know. It's. You should be able
I
to.
don't know why we're having this
It's on.
problem.
It should be, right? But we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know when you'll see it is the replay. You'll see it. It'll come up in your feed. And
Yeah.
Give it some time. You'll see
Is
it.
there anything else I can do with it, or just?
You can, once it's done, you can put it wherever you want.
No, I'm saying, is it on right now? Do you think, or you don't know?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah. What'll happen if we can't get it now? You'll be able because you'll be able to see it like tonight, or you know what I mean, when it comes through your feed, you'll be able to see it.
I'm not understanding why this is causing such a problem. Hold on. Let me see if I can do something.
I'm not
with it.
that tech savvy either.
Yeah.
Um,
And
but usually I.
do you think it got on?
It's on. I can see it.
Yeah.
Oh, it is on?
It's on mine.
Okay, it's on yours, Rachel.
I am so unsavvy.
I don't know. I'll
I don't
wait.
know. I don't know how to share to one person. I'm sharing to
Stupid thing is not working.
Just acting like buffalo weather, that's all.
All right, get a.
Maybe I can do it.
I'll see it. I'll see it later. We'll see it later.
Okay.
At least I mean, like I said, I know in the past I'll usually see it, like a day or two after. It'll come later.
Is it on YouTube too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Under what link on YouTube?
I think I
That's
can do this.
totally different.
See if it came on yours.
Okay,
in like-
Rachel's got me on hers. Let me see if I can. Oh, we're already getting comments. Oh,
Wow.
hi Wally, hi Joe.
What do you want me to look at, huh?
Look at your Facebook now.
Hi, guys.
Okay.
Look on your Facebook. See if
All right, we need to get started. All right.
Yeah, Rachel.
I don't know why we're having such a problem with this, but
Let's see if it comes up.
let's
on
get it
yours.
online.
You and Sarah haven't gotten it yet.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Watch the clock. Okay, we're gonna watch the
Oh.
clock.
Rachel,
Ready?
send it to Brandon then.
Okay.
I hear.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Now, can I go back to the script?
Yes,
Yes.
you can get out and go in Messenger.
We're okay,
Okay.
Sal?
Yeah. I'll put yours up after the show.
Okay, get ready.
Okay.
Clock is started.
3, 2, 1, go! Welcome to the Oracle of Enlightenment Vortex. This is the observer, Sal Monaco, who's still a little under the weather, but is here nonetheless. As is Rachel, of course. She's always the warrior, fighting even when she's not feeling good. And Brandon's he's really fighting with his situation, so it shows you how devoted the three of us are to this show. Right, guys? And joining us, of course, is Lena. Lena, you're still off camera. Yeah, there you go. Give us the smile. Okay, give us the smile. Why does that keep happening, Michael?
What's that?
The screen keeps going down and coming back up.
I'm not moving
The
a
screen
thing.
keeps turning black.
I'm not moving a thing. If something's moving, she's moving over there.
No, it's not her. It's the entire screen. It keeps going black and then coming back up. So,
Yeah, don't worry about it.
okay. All right. And joining us, of course, is the lovely Ann Burka.
Hi.
Joining us for the first time in a long time, Maria Elena.
Hi. Good to be
Joining us.
back.
Yes. And joining us for the first time in a very long time, the very lovely Miss Terry Braunstein. How are you, Terry?
Hi, doing fine.
That's
Great.
good. That's good. It's really great to have you back on the show after so many years. And joining us for the very first time ever, the lovely Miss Diane
Hill.
Hill. Yeah. Di, how are you?
Good.
That's good.
Glad to be here.
Great. So everyone will remember Terry as being the talking proud lady, and as well as the dance teacher down at ECC City campus. Are you glad to be retired?
Oh, I love being retired. I miss my students, though.
Oh, really?
I do miss
Yeah.
my students.
Yes. And we're of course all members of the Buffalo Movie Club, which is soon to be transferring into something different. Except for Ann, she hasn't officially joined yet, although she's
get
been
there.
to a meeting or
Yeah.
two. So yes, and the three caballeros up there are holding the race. Lena's waiting for her chance to get into the films, right? Right, Lena? Yep.
I'm here for that one time because I was at a birthday party.
Yep. Don't worry.
And
It'll.
that birthday party was expensive, and I had to drive 2 hours for it,
Yeah.
so I wasn't missing it.
Okay. Well, your dad's up here and your stepdad is up here, so thanks to both of you for being online. So, all right. The first thing we're gonna do is do our play. And we were having a little trouble with Facebook, folks, but we've worked it out as best we can at this point. So everyone get their script ready, and we will do our...
Do you watch it?
She said she's going to in a moment.
Oh, yeah, this is actually we actually have a secondary name. It's called the Rachel's Family Show. Right, Rach?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Even though 2 of her daughters quit.
They're
There's-
not here. They're playing soccer.
Okay. Soccer. Hopefully your son will still stay on.
If
All
not,
right.
then
Then it's just you. Yes, honey.
yeah,
All right.
that's why I'm the
Before we get started, though, we want to make an announcement. A fellow filmmaker here in Buffalo has passed away, unfortunately. Brandon, give us the name.
Asafer Genovese.
Yes. Peter Asafer Genovese. And he also loved doing films involving barefoot characters, and Rachel and Brandon both starred in his series, what was it called? The Outlaw?
Yep.
The living comic book outlaw.
Yeah. And Rachel played a demon from hell. That must have been an interesting character.
Yes.
Yeah, she got an action figure.
Yeah, I have a doll.
Cool. Brandon, what did you play in it?
Just one of her shmups.
Okay. Well, our heart goes out to Ace's wife, Fawn, and to all those in Ace's movies. I didn't know him very well, but I respect him. He did some great things in the movie business here in Buffalo. And let's have one quick moment of silence for Ace. Okay. Now, let us begin our play. This week's episode of The Mighty Beyond, as we introduce 2 new characters. And action. The Tyler sisters are sitting talking in the game room at the school.
Thanks for coming in, sis.
I'm supposed to meet Alana here to be made one of her minions.
Yeah, well, that's part of it. But I also wanted to talk to you. Something's up with our family.
Yeah, I was told by Destiny not too long ago that there was something going on with my daughter Candace and some of my nieces.
Jerry Ann asked me to talk to Sammy and Jason about an event that occurred years ago involving the Buffalo Con and her daughters.
Why is she worried about that? It was a while ago.
She thinks it has something to do with what's going on in a current project.
What kind of project?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Sammy and Alana step in.
Hi, my flower children.
Good to see you, Aunt Blossom. You're here to be the next one of my minions. I'm soon to be the new hippie queen.
Hi, honey. Yes, you are.
My mother is the goth queen, and my daddy is the heavy metal king. So it's my time.
Yes, honey, it is.
How are you guys doing?
Fine. Now it's summer. She's out of school soon, so she wants her shoes locked up for the summer.
Me and my minions and I are going to be barefoot for the entire summer. Walk through parks, festivals, and theme parks. Oh, and a lot of swimming. We are in touch with the earth.
Judea, who was at the next table, enters.
Hi, folks. I'm the new art teacher, and I thought I would introduce myself as Miss Jada. I was eavesdropping, and I'm impressed the way this school works.
And Miss Ruth comes in.
Hi, folks. I'm Miss Ruth, the new dance teacher, and wanted to say hi.
Nice to meet you both. I'm the student here. My mom is an aide, and my two aunts are the teachers.
Well, we know. They hired us.
Miss Ruth, are you the new queen of the Beatniks?
Well, I guess so. MS Melody stepped down and has gone on sabbatical.
I would like to get involved in the hippie community. How does this work?
The cultures here at the school are like the houses in school in Harry Potter.
I keep getting lost. Yeah, the houses of the hippies, goth, punk rockers, runders, beatniks, jammers, scrubs, and so on.
Plus, we vote for the leader of each group, and in some cases, it's the queen, like this one.
It's a fascinating concept. The students, teachers, and aides all take part.
Sounds great. I really enjoy the relaxed and casual way things are done here. The way we can dress, the way we can teach and socialize, not like any school I ever taught at.
I agree.
Jada looks at the picture on the wall.
This is amazing work of art. The conception of art I am going to take to my students to different art galleries here in town.
Buffalo does have some of the best artwork and architecture.
Thank you for your insight on what happened with our nieces, Sammy.
You're welcome, but what is it all about?
That's what we're trying to figure out. We'll keep you in the loop.
Jason shows up.
Okay, folks. I'm here to do the next round of our trivia game.
Great, but can we get some breakfast first?
Yeah, let's send down to the cafeteria.
I want pizza, cake, and ice cream.
We will have eggs, bacon, and toast.
Ugh.
Yeah, me too.
Waffles and sausage.
Same.
I'll have eggs, bacon. I'll have eggs, bacon, sausage, tomatoes, and fried bread.
Kippers, toast with marmalade, tea.
Okay, I'll go get it.
It's great that your cafeteria have English breakfasts.
We have a lot of British TV fans here.
Especially Doctor Who and Red Door.
Breakfast is brought in and everyone enjoys it.
I can get used to this. Even English breakfast tea.
We consider everyone here family.
That's a great concept. Wish more people would do that on their jobs.
Yeah, we tried to make our little community within school and our clubs and organization one that doesn't have to follow certain rules of society that make no sense.
Some older people think it's weird that our male and female students hang out, even though they have relationships or spouses.
Folks like to make fun of our people for the alternative clothes, the tattoos, colored hair, piercings, bare feet.
Things are getting better, but that seems to be the old generation. This younger generation doesn't seem to believe in loyalty, professionalism, and mutual cooperation.
Which we try to push here in our school. People my age and above should be respectable and polite.
Honey, remember, it's just not young people. People my age have to deal with the same issues.
It's just the types of individuals.
That's why we work hard to vet people and keep the drama out.
Doesn't always work, though. But we deal with any issues as best we can.
Sounds like it.
Okay, folks. Need your help with a trivia game for tonight's radio show. We'll run the questions by you and see how they work out.
Let's do it. You know I love trivia, Daddy.
Okay. Here are names of TV and movie characters. 1. In the TV show Night Court, what was Judge Abby Stone's real first name?
Abracadabra.
Correct. Next, what is Sergeant Benton's first name in Doctor Who?
John.
Correct. Next, what is James T. Kirk's middle name?
Tiberius.
Correct. What is Commissioner Gordon's middle name in Batman?
Worthington.
Correct. What is Chief O'Hara's full name on Batman?
That's the easy one. Miles Clancy O'Hare.
Right. In G.I. Joe, what is Shipwreck's real name?
Hector Delgado.
Yes. Thank you for your help, folks.
No problem.
Well, welcome to our family.
Nice to be here.
Ditto.
The end. Great job, guys. So, Terry, what do you think of your character?
Oh, I like her.
Yeah.
I find her very interesting, and I'm so upbeat that I can play with her a little bit, have fun with her,
Yeah, and show that she needs a little bit of the finer things.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And Rachel, are you and Lena stepping off? I guess they did. Yeah. Are they off?
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm not seeing them anymore.
Okay. Rachel's not feeling well, so she did the play and she stepped off. So, yeah. Can you take those comments down off the screen, please? I mean, you can keep them on the small screen, but not in the middle. Okay. Yeah. So, Terry, tell us about, I know we talked about it last time, but tell us about your being involved in the Talkin' Proud project.
Oh, it was a commercial that was put forth through the Buffalo Chamber of Commerce to get the people of Buffalo talking proud about the city that they live in and believe in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it must have been fun.
Well, it was work, but it was a challenge. And I took my character and based it off of a Pepsi commercial that I saw a year before that, where a gentleman gets off of a bus and he has this real great walk. And I took my character and brought it into that form.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Were you near the Charging Buffaloes, or was that a different?
No, we were down in front of City Hall, and we also filmed in front of the Blossom Shop, and down by the Water Canal Side area. Yeah,
okay,
down there.
So
in Johnson Park, we were in Johnson Park too.
Very nice. So the Charging Buffaloes were a different set, right?
Yes,
yeah.
Totally different.
I think, yeah. They always remind me of over at Marineland. They had a bunch of those. And, yeah. Sorry, folks. I'm a little under the weather myself, and I edited the play with a migraine, so I'm sorry for any little mistakes that were made. But we managed to pull it off, and everyone did a really great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you stepping right back into Blossom
Of
after all this
course.
time?
Of course I am.
Yes.
It's nice to be back.
Yes.
Nice
To
that
have you
I
back.
finally was able to come
Yes.
and be with, the group.
Yep. And so, Terry, what was it like teaching at ECC City for all those years?
39 years.
Wow.
It was wonderful. I wrote most of the courses, taught theater, different types of theater programs, dance, jazz, and tap. Wrote the course tap dance, and then started working on a film course where the students got together and they made their own films. They would write their own films, produce and direct. There'd be 5 people on a team, and they each would come up with their own. You should see some of the work they did. And back then, they didn't have phones. We had those big movie cameras that people used to carry, those VHSs. That's what we had. And they did all of their own editing in that. Because this was in the early, 80s and then 90s and then on up. But we didn't really have the pleasure of working with cell phones until when did the phones come out? In the 90s?
Yeah, that's when they started
Yeah.
getting somewhat prominent.
And then you
Right,
couldn't
yeah.
afford them. They were so expensive.
Yeah, I think they
Right.
didn't become common until like the 2000s. I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, and you worked with a friend of ours, Mike Sajaki, I believe.
Oh, wonderful young man. Oh, talented. He wrote some good films.
Yeah.
He was in my class for a number of years. Do you know what he's doing these days?
No, actually, I don't. I haven't heard from him in a while.
I
Mike,
hope
if
he's
you're
writing
watching,
film.
Let us know what you're doing. Yeah,
Maybe we can pull him in to write some films for us.
maybe. I'll have to see. He had his own company for a while.
Yes,
but
he did.
We haven't heard from them in a while.
Yeah.
I know Tom works here at Home of the Future, and I saw Rich Viola,
Oh, Richard
Last
Jews. It's
summer.
great. Yeah.
but no, I haven't seen Mike in I don't know how many years.
Well, so Jackie and Mike and Rich were all on a team together. They were in
Right.
in the group.
Yeah, and they were
They were a group of
they
5.
Were the company.
Yes, they
Yeah.
were their own group. And the final production was their final exam grade, was the finished product of the film.
Oh, wow.
Michael, will you please get that comment off the screen?
I thought I did get the part off that you didn't like.
No, get the whole part off. Thank you. So moving on. 39 years, did you say?
Yes, 39 years.
Wow.
Amazing.
I started in 1980 on Leroy Street. On O'Reilly Riley it was, at the old home down there, and that was ECC City. And then when they opened the doors at the post office in 1981, 82, I started there when they opened the doors. That's when I started.
Oh,
Very
wow.
nice. Yeah. Well, City Campus is an interesting structure. I mean,
It's beautiful.
not only do they have that set of buildings, but they were renting property in the in a couple of the Ellicott Square building and maybe one other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they also have their north and their south campus.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's actually 8 different facilities
Right.
altogether.
And downtown Buffalo has a few other buildings for criminal justice and, the police department and that they do bring these students and they become police. It's
And the
a great program.
gymnasium.
Yeah.
Yeah, the difference is that North and South are kind of their own entities, whereas City Campus actually is separate and has streets going through it, city streets and everything.
Yes.
So it's kind of pieced together.
There's also a tunnel.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
That goes from the recreation building where the pool is
yes.
to the main post office.
Yes. And that is actually considered a separate entity. It's not
Yes.
considered part of City Campus, even though it is the Flickinger Center.
The
right?
Flickinger, yes.
Yes.
But they're limited to what they can do there because the old post office is a historical
Yeah.
place, so they can only just do so much.
Yeah. Well, the Flickinger Center has robots vacuuming the bottom of the pool.
Wow.
So, what other films have you done?
Oh my gosh, I started with The Rose with Bette Midler,
Well, that must have been
Oh, my
nice.
God.
Raging Bull with Robert De Niro,
Wow.
Untitled with Woody Allen. Also, James Gardner, worked with him on The Fan. I
My
worked.
mother dated James Garner.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Oh, he was a
Wow.
sweet man. What a fantastic actor. I was the dance teacher in Buffalo '66. Recently
I remember that.
Recently worked on Cabrini that was brought here to Buffalo. We filmed it here in Buffalo in our lovely city. I played a nurse and an Italian immigrant. And on and on. I mean, there's a list of a mile long of films that I was in, and I've enjoyed every moment of it.
You have an IMDb?
Yes.
All right. So everyone who wants to see the rest, look up IMDb Terry Braunstein. What was Bette Midler like?
She was very quiet. I didn't actually have a one-on-one scene with her, but she was very polite and saying hello and that, but she was sort of quiet and to herself. But you're going back now. This is late 70s. So that, I think that was 78, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
That was my first film.
what was it like working with Christina Ricci?
Oh, it was quite different. I had to teach her how to tap dance. So you notice when they filmed it, they show her from the waist up. They don't really show too much or lengthiness of her feet. So she wasn't a tap dancer, but to get into the audition for it, I had to teach one of his Vincent Gallo's colleagues how to tap dance, and I had a pair of cowboy boots on. So that was what I did with my cowboy boots. I started teaching tap dancing to his colleague, and that's how I got the part.
Yeah, Vince must have been interesting to work with.
Very nice. His family knew my family. In fact, my mother used to play cards with his aunt.
Oh, what a small world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
And you said James Gardner was a nice gentleman?
Yes, I have a beautiful picture that was taken at 2 in the morning. I had a big fur coat on, and I asked him if he would take a picture with me. He said, sure. And it was taken at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I cherish that photo. I love it.
It must have been great. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, what other big celebrities have you worked with that you think were cool?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, gosh. Roy Scheider.
Ooh, now that
Worked
must
with,
have been great.
yes, definitely worked with him.
He was a
And
nice guy?
yes, yeah, there again, he was kind of quiet. I wish I would have worked with him in Jaws, because I love the Jaws movies. I'm so addicted to those movies. You know, they're the type of movies, the more you see them, the more you want to see them.
Yeah.
And it's just, and they filmed a couple films at my home in Buffalo. When I lived on Lincoln Parkway, we filmed a couple films there.
Great.
And Patrick Duffy was in one of them. Remember Patrick Duffy?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was the man from Atlantis, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's one of them.
And wasn't he Bobby on Dallas?
Yeah, for a while, right. Well, he was in the
And
film.
he spent a year in the shower on Dallas.
You're in the shower.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. He spent a year in the shower. But you just get so many wonderful memories.
That's
I worked on One Life to Live for an episode.
wow.
Wow.
One Life to Live. Yeah, that too.
That must have been great.
Yeah, all that
I've
jazz.
heard soap operas are pretty interesting to work on.
They are, and they're done right away. There's no if, ands, but. You go in, you film it, and you're done.
Yeah.
You know.
Because you gotta. It's like trying to film a movie every day, from what I hear.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to. I'm doing some work on some. I'm doing some research on some soap operas. The first TV soap opera was in 1946.
Was that The Edge of Night?
No,
What was that?
I don't recall the name offhand. I'm still working on the research, but it was a nighttime soap.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't until 3 years later that another soap was put on daytime.
Wow.
But there have been some interesting twists and turns on some soap operas, but like I said, that's for another show. So yeah, it's great having you as part of the Beyond the Mainstream
Well, thank
family.
you. I'm very happy and honored to be here.
And Ruth will be making her premiere in the next movie. What did you think of our last movie?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You guys are very creative, and I like the kind of work that you do. It's very perfectioned and crisp and very, very intelligently put together and very meaningful.
Thank you.
Very meaningful.
Brandon was especially enjoying the kissing scenes, right, Brandon?
Oh, I'll bet you did.
And we had fun shooting those scenes in the comic shop, right?
Yeah,
Ann?
that was a good time.
I never had a kissing scene in anything, but I did do a stage play with Alleyway Theater called Pier, and I was the mother, and I died in that show.
Okay.
So I did do a death scene, but other than that, I never had a kissing scene in anything.
Well, I've died 3 times. In Greg's movie, I got shot by mercenaries and the slime zombies walked over my dead body. And what were the other ones? In Adam's movie, I got zombified and then shot as a zombie. And yeah, it's been interesting.
I also worked with Teak Williams. I don't know if you remember him, but he plays in a lot of the criminal shows, cops and robbers type shows.
Yeah. That's great.
But it was very interesting working with Robert De Niro in Raging Bull. I was one of the bridesmaids.
I met Robert. Was it Robert De Niro? No, I'm sorry. I was thinking of somebody else. No, I've never worked with Robert. What kind of person is he? Nice?
Very nice. I sat at a table with him. We were waiting to do a scene, and he was like 3 people over from me. And I'll never forget, he has this little, like this beauty mark on his face, and you can see it in anything that he's in. And I'll always remember just staring at that. But he was, how are you? Very, very pleasant. Very nice. Very nice to work with. I even sat in a limousine with Lauren Bacall.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
I was working with this director in New York, and he asked me if I wanted to go to the awards show, and I said, "Of course, I'd love to go to the awards show." He said, "We'll have a limo pick you up." Well, when the limo picked me up, Lauren Bacall was in the back seat.
Oh my!
Wow.
So I got to sit next to her, and I'm talking now. This was like the late '70s,
Right.
and I asked her in her, she had a rispy voice. I said, how do you get through this business? How do you get, to get into this business and do well with it? She says, honey, all I can say is if you can't take it, get out.
Wow.
I'll never forget what she said. She says, it's a lot of hard work.
I bet.
But if you can't take it, get out.
Well, you know how many times we've had people say, I want to be in your movie and come on set, and after seeing that it's real work, the next day they're like, yeah, thank you, I don't need it anymore.
But I tell you, I sat next to her and I was like, I thought this was it. This is Bogart's wife.
Yeah, exactly. Oh
Bogey.
my God, Bogey.
Wow.
That must have been amazing.
Yeah, it really was. It was
Yeah.
a thrill.
Too bad they didn't have the cell phones then.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
All the selfies you
I know.
Oh my gosh, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, but nowadays celebrities charge you $50 for a
Oh, they do.
a selfie on your phone.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird. So, Di, why don't you? How do you feel about your character?
I liked it.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
Willing to learn.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you're gonna see a little more eccentricity out of her as we continue.
Color flow.
Yes. How much acting have you done?
0.
This was it?
Yes.
Oh wow!
Oh, wow.
That's wild.
My good luck charm. Yeah, I was telling him earlier, I remember you in the red outfit, and I said, I got to get one like that. You had the red outfit.
With you said bell bottoms. That
Yeah,
was it.
The bell bottom with that, and I kept trying to find one. I got close, but not exactly. Okay.
Yeah. Buffalo's got a spirit, talking proud, talking
Yeah.
proud.
Yeah.
They need to bring that back again and have you up
Isn't
there.
that wonderful?
That would be
Wonderful
great
campaign.
if they did it again and brought you.
Everybody was singing it. People were. I couldn't go anywhere. I had to wear a wig when I went to a hockey game because people were constantly. They want your autograph. They want to talk to you. I tell you, it was just a wonderful time of my life. God blessed me with that, and I was very fortunate.
Oh wow.
He was good to me to give me that part.
Yep. Congrats on that one.
Yeah. I enjoyed
Yeah.
it. That was fun. First
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. So this was your first time acting, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I love your outfit.
You said go hippie, so I kind of cheated a little bit. I went to my mother's closet, so
Oh, I love the outfit.
That's great.
That's very nice.
Oh, you look
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah, these two are still wearing the same clothes they wore 6 years ago.
Yeah, well, look at-
You're right.
we cycle it around.
You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, Ann's daughter occasionally comes in. How's she doing?
She's doing really good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Brandon, how you feeling?
Tired.
Yeah. Any news about getting the new pancreas yet?
Nope. Somebody's got to die before it happens.
Well, let's hope when it does, it comes in good this time. And we all pray for you, believe me.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Not many men can have 2 heart attacks and a stroke and still star in a movie.
Wow.
You're made of some stern stuff there, Brandon. And he's been co-hosting the show for 6 or 7 years now.
wow.
He's showed up right. He showed up right after dialysis. That shows how strong he is. Do you miss karaokeing?
Yep.
Yeah. He does. He's a karaoke master. Some other people have been doing some karaoke. All right, let's get to today's topic, which is reboots versus remakes. Now, when you're dealing with a TV show or a movie, and it goes off the air, and then in a few years, sometimes it could be 5 years, 10 years, could be 30 years, and they decide to bring it back. What do you think is the better chance for success? Like, Terry, I'll start with you. Do you want to see it continue from where it left off and try to get as many of the originals back as possible and continue from there, or do you want to see a total new remake of the storyline with either different characters or different actors playing the same characters, and them trying to make a go of it again? What do you think?
Well, to be very honest with you, we all know that the original movie is always the best.
Right.
Then they come out with 2 and 3 and 4, whatever. So my opinion is keep with the original and then call it a day. Everything I've seen after the original piece has never been really that good. And if you do plan to go into number 2, try to keep it flowing from the first one, moving after that, possibly getting the same characters if you're able to. But other than that, I've never seen a good part 2. And if you do a part 2, try to flow from the first one into the second smoothly and with the same characters if possible.
I see.
Well, that's just my opinion.
No, I understand. Would you say the same thing about a TV series?
A TV series such as?
Well, it's like Full House. It ended after 9 years, or was it 8 years, without really an ending, and then they rebooted it on Netflix as Fuller House, and basically got everybody who was willing to come back, which was every actor except for the Olsen twins, and they tried to pick up where the old series left off, even though it was several years later. And
how did it do, Sal?
It did very well. It did 4 years worth on Netflix. I think it should have gone longer because I think they did it right, bringing back the original actors, and they did it the way they kept with the original material. They kept, and I've always said many times on this show, if you don't honor the source material, then don't bother doing it. I mean, if you look at Fantasy Island, the original one with Ricardo Montalban.
Yes.
Montalban. Anyway.
Montalban.
They did a second series in the 90s with Malcolm McDowell playing Mr. Rourke, and they tried to make it darker and more hard-edged, and it didn't work. It didn't make it past 13 episodes. It did have some nice touches, like seeing how people get lured into Fantasy Island and how people react that don't when their fantasies don't go well. But it was too dark. That was the problem. It defeated the purpose. Not to say Malcolm didn't do a good job, but it just defeated the whole purpose of the show. And then they made a horror movie, which was supposed to be a prequel to Malcolm McDowell's version that didn't do well to begin with. And the movie actually wasn't bad as far as it's, with Louis Gussamer, I believe, playing Mr. Rourke. It actually did decently as far as the storyline goes, and it tried to be a little more closer to the original, but it was a massive flop. So it wasn't until Fox did the reboot of the original series, and it kind of ignored everything in between and went right from the original series on and began developing themes that were in the original one and explaining things. And I personally think it was good. I mean, it told some really good stories. I mean, obviously the writing wasn't as good as the original, but it was the best we had seen. And unfortunately, it didn't last more than a couple seasons. But I think it should have lasted longer. Has anyone else seen it?
No.
No? Okay.
I remember the one with the woman on there. That didn't last long at all.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It lasted a couple of years.
Yeah, I was like, no.
I thought she did a good job. And I thought the interaction of the characters, there wasn't, in the original series, it was mostly about the fantasies. There wasn't always a lot of interaction between the characters, like between Tattoo and Julie and Lawrence and everything else. Whereas here, they, just like in Malcolm McDowell's series and in this series, they were trying to mix in what was going on with the characters on the island, like the new Tattoo and the gardener and the guy who flew the plane, and and it was a good idea, and I thought it was executed well. It just didn't. I mean, I think it was simply a case of the writing just wasn't strong enough. I mean, it was good, a lot better than the other two things, but it just wasn't strong enough to keep the audience, and, the proverbial, it was Mr. Rourke's niece, I believe. Oh. And, the pictures of Ricardo Montalban and everything were helpful, and but her saying, "What can the island do for you?" As we discovered, the island is actually an entity, a living entity, kind of like in Lost, and so it would have been better if they could have just strengthened the writing a little bit, But having the characters interact really, I think, really works. But even when you do everything right, that doesn't mean it's going to last. I mean, like Fuller House could have gone another 4 years easily. So, but when you're dealing with, you got to think of your forum. You got to think of your time slots and what you're actually doing. Would it have gone longer had it been on TV and not on a streaming service? Or would it have not gone on at all? Would Fantasy Island have gone longer on a streaming service than if it had been on Fox TV? I mean, you never quite know. That's the problem with television. You never quite know what's going to work. I mean, do we want to do it on TV, on broadcast TV? Do we want to do it on cable? Do we want to do it on a streaming service? And now there's so many places to put things that's why we're getting so many reboots, because people want to see stuff. There are fans of things that people want to see that if you bring it back might actually, work. I mean, like, say, Quantum Leap, for example. Yeah, it took a long time for them to bring it back, but they finally did, and I think they're doing a decent job with it.
What about Psycho?
Huh?
What about the second one, Psycho? The first one I really love.
It's Psycho, are you saying?
Yeah, Psycho.
All right, are you
Psycho.
talking about the sequels to the original movies or the remake?
I don't like the remake. The original one was fantastic, but the
Oh,
second
absolutely.
one, yeah, it was like that was really a waste.
But
I mean, in
that's
my opinion.
Another example.
Yeah.
The first one is the best.
Yeah,
In this case, it was a bad idea to make a sequel. And making a reboot with Vince Vaughn playing Anthony Perkins' character, I'm missing it at the moment. Who's the character?
Anthony Perkins and Lee,
No.
Janet Lee.
Janet Lee.
No, the character that Anthony
Oh.
Perkins played.
He played the mother and the son.
Yeah, what was the son's name is what I'm saying. Does anyone remember?
No.
Okay, we should all be ashamed of ourselves because it's a horror classic.
It's like,
Yeah.
exactly.
But they actually did a TV series too called Bates Motel.
Oh, I heard about that. I
Oh,
never
wow.
saw it.
I haven't
though.
seen it yet either. I've been meaning to check it out, but nowadays Norman Bates, that's the character's name.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Shame on everyone.
I forget.
Yeah. So, but I mean, having Vince Vaughn play Norman Bates was just a bad idea, and doing a paint the numbers where they didn't do anything different was also a bad idea. And let's face it, without the scariness of the original one, I mean, the black and white and Anthony Perkins, the way he did it, you know, this reboot was just completely and utterly useless. I mean, what was the point of it?
Yeah, but you got to also understand when that first cycle came out, what year was that?
Yeah.
Things back then were some of the first frightening scenes we ever saw. That was new to everybody.
Right.
So it wasn't as intense. Now they got to
Right.
do it, bend over backwards to get you to be
More and
scared
more.
more and more.
Right.
But
Black
back
and
then
white.
that was
Especially now
yeah.
Especially now with the computers
Oh,
and the
yeah.
effects that can
Yeah.
be done with computers that
that
they
was the
didn't,
first
they couldn't do back
of
then.
its sort.
Yeah, yeah. And trying to, I think black and white and lesser special effects actually make a show more scary. In that, I've had people say, well, I can't watch this because the special effects are so bad. And I'm like, well, what about the story? What about the characters? I mean, does it have to look... take Doctor Who, for example. Yes, a lot of their monsters and characters looked very hokey, but they told really good stories, really strong acting. And since it got rebooted, which they've done a great job with the reboot, they've been very faithful to the original, and it's like okay, it went off the air for 16 years. We had a TV movie, we had a bunch of audio plays, a bunch of original novels, and then we go back to doing TV. And they've done a great job. It's just that a lot of the writing is not as strong sometimes. I mean, there have been some real stinkers. I mean, in the old series, there were some not so great.
Different writers.
But yeah,
Totally.
But in this series, there have been major stinkers. Hi, Angela. How are you? When are you going to come back? We miss you. We miss Rose, your character, who played my girlfriend in the first movie. So it's nice to see you. Yeah, but I mean, there are times when you should be careful. I've said, as the owner of a franchise, and I'll say this to anyone out there who owns even a small franchises, and I've said it many times, be very careful if you're loaning it out. I mean, if you need the money, I understand, but just be careful because it can do severe damage to your brand. I mean, take Land of the Lost, for example. The original Land of the Lost, despite being a Saturday morning live-action children's television show, had some of the best science fiction writers in history working on it. Larry Niven, David Gerald, D.C. Fontana, even Mr. Chekhov, Walter Koenig. And they had some of the greatest stories ever, and it just never got developed the way it should have been because it was so censored. But even with the lack of money and the censorship of it being the early 70s and it being a Saturday morning show, they still managed to pull off a lot of really good stuff. Now, if they were to remake it today, which I've heard they are trying to, there's a lot of stuff from the old show that they could really do a deep dive on and harness so that they could. A lot of stuff was left unresolved that they could probably do a lot more with. Now, when they redid the series in the 90s, it was done by the same people, and they took it in a more childlike direction, whereas the original one was adult friendly. This other one in the 90s, it was a different family, a different set of stuff, and it was, I'm not saying it was bad because I haven't watched it all the way through, but it didn't have the intense imagination and writing that the original did. It was more centered for children, but it was done by the same people. Now, the Kroft brothers in, I think it was 2009, they obviously needed money, so they they gave the rights to Will Forte, one of the Wills, to do a Land of the Lost feature film, and the Kroft brothers had very little input into it. They knew it was going to be done as a parody, but this film was literally a piece of crap. I mean, they tried to use the original characters and stuff, but nothing about this film showed homage to the original show. It was more than just a parody. It was a piece of crap. I mean, it was let's make fun of the show. Let's do the most ridiculous things we can. And I'm, if you're out there, I'm not forgiving you for doing that. I'm not forgiving you for ruining the Bewitched movie. And do not, all people out there, do not give this man the rights to your universe because he will screw it up. And it's done severe. That film did severe damage to the brand, and that's why they're having so much trouble getting the new TV series out. So, and a lot of people will say, like, the original Star Wars. Does anyone remember the original Star Wars holiday special? Mm-hmm. Now, if you look at it, it was the only time in history when the big three were on TV playing their characters. It was the first animated Star Trek episode and the only one to have the big three in it, as well as the introduction of Boba Fett. And this also had other great actors. I mean, B. Arthur's in it, Harvey Korman, Ed Norton from the Honeymooners, Art Carney. But yeah, it's, George Lucas handed it off to somebody else who and Terry will tell you, during the 70s, it was the time when we were in love with the variety show thing on TV. I mean, we had Carol Burnett.
We had the Andy Williams, Andy Williams Christmas special and all those.
Well, George Lucas turns the rights to these characters over to this group, and they decide we're going to do a kind of variety show type episode, including having a music video in the middle with Star Surgeon or Starship, what I believe it was called. It's not the perfect piece, and when it aired one time on TV, and then George Lucas tried to get all the copies of it and destroy it because he was really afraid it was going to damage the brand. I personally don't think so, because it just made people want to watch it more. And for decades, it was being sold on the black market. If you went to a convention, and you asked for Star Wars stuff, somebody would have a videotape here with, like, you want the Star Wars animated special? I don't know how, or Christmas special. I don't know how great it is, but I'll give it to you for $20, and now it's all over the internet. How many centuries later? And if you ask, like, Harrison Ford about it, he'll say, oh, I don't remember us ever doing something like that. And I asked Peter about it, who played Chewbacca, and he said, yes, it was fun, but I don't know why they wanted us to do that. But, basically, and Mark Hamill had just had his motorcycle accident, so they had to really spray him down and made it look like he'd spent the last 10 years in the sun. And Carrie Fisher was high as a kite during the filming of it. But, you know, it's a simple example of if you're going to create a popular brand, you know, and you want to do projects, don't sell it off strictly for money. I mean, Marvel did it for years, and you saw some of the crap that was, and DC did the same thing. They sold their characters off for TV shows and movies, and you saw such big, huge pieces of crap. I mean, that Captain America movie from the 90s, they put it in, they had posters of it in the theaters, but it came up so bad that they pulled it from the theaters, and the only thing you saw were the posters.
Oh, wow.
And Ned Beatty doesn't even want to admit he was in it because it was that bad. Some people say the same. Now, the Catwoman movie. Yeah, DC gives them the rights to Catwoman, but not the rights to Selena Kyle. So they create a completely different character, Catwoman, put Halle Berry into this character, and they write a halfway decent script, but it winds up being such a bomb that Halle Berry, people say that her career didn't suffer, but I think it did a little bit. But being Storm for the X-Men kind of saved the day for her. But do you guys want to mention any other shows or movies you were thinking about? Now, she mentioned Psycho.
Well, when I first saw Jaws, that was scary. I mean, that was a real, that shark looked amazingly real. Now, with all the animation and all the new techniques, that shark doesn't look real anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They have to really overdo it into something totally different. Same with the werewolf movies.
Yeah, well, when they got to the third movie, it was 3D. Some shark's mother is upset that you killed her baby and is chasing you through a water park. And when we got to 4, it got so ridiculous that Michael Caine appeared in it. And Michael Caine will be the first one to tell you, for the right amount of money, I will appear in any old piece of crap. And, you know, the idea that this shark attacked someone and then followed them to finish off the rest of the family. I mean, is it a wonder that there hasn't been a Jaws since then? And that was how many years ago?
That's the writers. It's totally different writers.
Yeah, and it came off really, really bad. But I mean, like, sometimes these horror movies are just like, yeah, we're just trying to give you jump scares and do something really ridiculous, and we don't care if it actually looks good or not. I mean, it's like Piranha 1, Piranha 2, The Spawning. I think we're at Leprechaun 56, I think.
Oh my gosh.
And,
Friday the 13th. Same thing.
We're actually at Friday the 13th, part 13. if you want to get technical, because... you know, we ended with Jason 10, and then we did the reboot, and we did Jason versus Freddy. So I believe the next film will actually be Friday the 13th, part 13.
Wow, I know that's been done so many times.
Yeah, is there going to be another Friday the 13th? Yes, there will. For one reason and one reason only, and that's the check keeps clearing. I mean, I was watching a movie called Destroy All Monsters this weekend on Svengoolie, and it was the last of the supposedly the last of the kaiju movies. It's like, let's take Godzilla, Rodan, Mothra, and all the monsters except for King Kong, because the Americans still have the rights, and throw them into one movie and have them fight aliens, right? And this is supposed to be the last of the kaiju movies because of how bad the gross was going down. Well, it did so well in the box office that we have had a kaiju movie ever since, and that was in the 70s. So,
What about the Twilight Zone?
Twilight Zone's another example.
I like the new ones now.
The original 5 had some stinkers, but they were essentially all really good. The second round, they were all really good. The third round, some good, some bad. The fourth round was totally horrible.
Especially the new one. I don't even look at
The
that
movie and the specials, oh please.
Yeah, I mean, I personally never got into like Beverly Hills 90210, but the success of that show, and then when they tried it again, I don't remember. I don't know. They did something different with it, and it did not work. I just remember hearing that when
Same thing with Melrose Place. Well, they were trying to keep the originals coming back, but use some new characters, and it kind of didn't work because it wasn't, like you said, it was trying to be new, and it just didn't quite work.
I remember hearing it did not go well.
It was interesting that they got as many people to come back as they did. I almost had a chance to work with Luke Perry, and then it didn't work out. And then he passed right in the middle of filming Riverdale. Now, Riverdale was an interesting example. Let's take a thing that's only been done in cartoons and a few live-action specials and a TV movie, which was horrible, and let's create a reimagined dark dramatic. And it actually worked. I was surprised. But if it hadn't had Cole Sprouse playing Jughead and without that cast, it wouldn't have worked, And same thing with the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. You compare that with Melissa Joan Hart's sitcom Sabrina, totally different, but they made it work. I don't know why Katie Keene didn't work. I thought it was good, but it only lasted a year as far as the Riverdale properties go. But I mean, sometimes it takes a while, like take Scooby-Doo, for example. That property's been sold to death for how many TV shows, movies, animated films, live action, TV, but they always seem to make something good. There are very few Scooby-Doo projects out there, if any for that matter, that I can say is really crap, because they keep reinventing it and keep sticking with what works, and
entertaining, fun.
Right. None of the Scooby-Doo spin-offs ever went anywhere, like Goober and the Ghost Chasers, or
what about the Fugitive movie? The Fugitive TV series was wonderful.
Yeah, the movie was actually pretty good.
Did you like it?
Yeah, the remake was terrible.
Right, right.
Which is why it was a disaster. We could talk about this for another hour, but we've only got 38 seconds left before you. So I want to thank my guests. Terry Braunstein, welcome to the Beyond the Mainstream family, and the very lovely Miss Diana Hill, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, Hill.
Thank you.
And I want to thank Brandon for being here as always, and Rachel and Lena. And, of course, it's nice to have Maria back.
Nice to be back.
And Anne, you've been amazing, showing up almost every show. So, and of course, Michael and Richard in the back. So, for the Oracle of Enlightenment, this is the Observer, Sal Monaco, saying, "Watch or reboot." End the show.